Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording Friday, September 5th. Chugging along towards training camp. We're here. We've got some comments. We've got some trade stuff. We've got crazy NBA drama outside of Celtics land, and we'll get to it. How you doing, Sam?
Who would have thought? I'm doing great because we have like juicy tea just to sip on here in early September. It doesn't happen often. Actually, I feel like it actually does happen every year. It's not like this kind of thing that happens, but like we've gotten late summer trades and like the Dame saga was really happening 2 years ago. Like, I don't know. I feel like September is a sneaky good news month because teams are shuffling and getting ready for the season. Actually, we should have a lot of news this month just with guys actually taking qualifying offers and other things like that. But anyways, that's not today. Today is we're having people online with keyboards putting stuff in the trade machine. We'll go through that. Jordan Walsh spoke about the upcoming season and his opportunity, looking him straight in the face. We'll do your emails, talk about the tree man out there in LA and his boss. And we'll talk about the new All-Star format. We'll do the rat list. We'll get out of here. It's going to be a fun show. Stick around through all of it. We are here every day, so subscribe to the channel. Full pods Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Other videos on the other days. Without further ado, they got to put some mandates on the trade machine, Jack.
Yeah, so I was looking for stuff to talk about today, and I stumbled upon this, and I was a little bit baffled, and so I put it on here. I was Googling, and I'll take you along with me. I'm just going to go to google.com, and I'll show you exactly what happened to me along the way. So, YouTube viewers, here you go. This is what I was searching. So I go into Google, and I was searching Celtics. I think I just searched Boston Celtics, and I saw a Jaylen Brown trade, right? I hit news, and it said something along the lines of like, Jaylen Brown traded, or this trade idea to send Jaylen Brown out. And I was like, what do you mean? Yeah, this right here. I saw, would Orlando Magic's potential package for Jaylen Brown be enough for the Boston Celtics? And on its own, you're like, well, that's silly. It's just a one-off. But if you search Jaylen Brown trade, this has just been what people have been doing to keep themselves entertained for the past like 2 weeks. You see one from a day ago. You see one from 2 weeks ago. You see one from earlier in the summer, which I guess is pretty dated at this point, but still, this is the same one from 2 weeks ago. You see this one from 1 week ago, which is just titled Jaylen Brown, or Celtics trade Jaylen Brown to Spurs, which this website is the worst. It's the right sports network or the right something. All they do is title things. Like I saw them during football season, like this player signs with this team. And then in the article they write, this is just an idea. It's just like ridiculous. But you dive into some of these trades and you realize just how bad they are, or not even bad. Like some of them aren't even bad in the sense of, oh, the Celtics would never do this. Some of them are bad as in, why would the other team do this? And don't get me wrong, Jaylen Brown's a great player. Like I think a lot of teams around the NBA would love to have Jaylen Brown. But the first one here from Fadeaway World, which is really hurting my computer right now, aggregates the new Sports Illustrated Celtics, which is awful. And it is Jalen Suggs, Jonathan Isaac, 3 first-round picks and a second for Jaylen Brown. And at first glance, you're like, that's actually not too bad. That's not bad value for Jaylen Brown if you're the Celtics, right? I don't think they should do it. I think Jaylen Brown's a far better player than anything they would be getting back, and I don't think the first are worth it. But also, who the fuck would play point guard for the Magic? That's the question I would then ask. Why would they do this? This doesn't make sense for their roster even a little bit. So
Can they get Tyus
insane.
Jones?
Yeah, I guess, but Tyus Jones as your starting point guard in 2025 does not scream deep playoff contender to me.
It doesn't?
And that's a lot. This is a lot of repetitiveness on the roster with Desmond Bane, Franz Wagner, Paulo Banchero, and Jaylen Brown. That's a lot of guys who would like the ball in their hands a lot. You run into a Suns problem there.
I really like, I don't do well in these segments because I'm just like, why? Like, can they jail these people? Can they fine them? Like, there should be some consequence.
People are bored, man.
I will say, like, at least with this, like, what is the headline for this?
Would Orlando Magic trade package be enough for Boston Celtics? Jaylen Brown? Like, sure, I guess, but
Even then, like, it's still being presented as if this has been like reported. It's not as it like
this is the original. This is the original Sports Illustrated headline for the trade, which they do put mock trade right in front, but then this part, like, it's just silly, man. And listen, I've written my fair share of trade proposals.
Grade
for
the trade.
Sure. But
it's a free headline. It certainly is.
Oh boy, some of these are horrendous. And then I didn't even know our good friends at PrizePicks wrote articles.
This. I wasn't gonna say anything.
Shout out to PrizePicks. Everyone go check it out. Use code CLNS. No, I'll do it later. However, maybe they should stop writing articles because this is embarrassing. Celtics receive Trae Young, Onyeka Okongwu, and Zachary Risachet for Jaylen Brown, Anthony Simons, Luka Garza in a 2027 second. This might be the worst mock trade I've ever seen.
I don't even think this works. I don't even think they trade machined this.
I think it does. I think it probably would work. Trae Young, and I'll double check, but I think it would work because Zachary Risachet is on the first.
Jalen's on a supermax and Simons is on 27.
Yeah, but Okongwu makes like in the middle grounds. Trae Young, I think, makes around 30, 40. I'll double check. Maybe it doesn't work, but I do think it's close. Even if it does work.
Unless Trae's on a supermax, I don't think it works. Because Risachet's on a rookie. And they don't pay Okongwu. Yeah, there's no way they pay Okongwu what Simons makes.
Let me look. 1 second. You can't even combine Simons in a trade yet for what it's worth. But for the sake of it. This trade does work.
Sunday's the day for that.
It works. Trae Young makes 46, Onyeka makes 15, and Risachet is on a rookie, but he misses the first pick, so he makes 13. So it does work. It's still bad.
It's
still really bad.
For sure.
It's still like, why would either team make this trade? Actually, you know what? If you're the Celtics, you think about it. I guess, right? Trae Young, Onyeka Okongwu, Zachary Risachet, you get 3 really, really good rotation players and 1 star point guard for a guy who you're not sure if he's going to be a future of your team. And, you know, Jaylen Brown, obviously, you don't want to give up, but at least you think about it. If you're the Hawks, why? You just spent a lot of money to build a team around Trae Young, and then you trade him? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, like, this is the best Atlanta has been maybe ever going into a season since Trae Young got there. I know they made the conference finals in 2021, but I don't think anybody expected that. Like, I like Atlanta in the East this year. I think they have a real, like, we have to see how it all plays out, see how healthy Porzingis is and so on, but they have a real shot to be one of the top teams. Why would they just, first of all, it's September now too. Like, why would they be like, you know what we want to do is just blow it up right before training camp and really get our guys ready for the season. Show them that nobody's safe.
This is terrible. What else do we got? What other terrible trades do we have? So this one is a Bleacher Report aggregation.
What is the headline of this? Because I think I saw this.
Another wimpy Jaylen Brown trade proposal arrives. So shout out them for at least agreeing with that. Ron Holland, Jaden Ivey, Tobias Harris in a first. What are you doing, man? What are we doing? This one is DeRozan, Malik Monk, and more. What the fuck? Also Keegan Murray and Keon Ellis. Still, that is disgusting. Oh my god.
No, this is upsetting.
Then this last one is Devin Vassell, Harrison Barnes, and 3 firsts.
3 firsts don't really move me if you're going to be good.
What an absolute disaster, man. That is disgusting. Listen, the Celtics should not be in the market to trade Jaylen Brown. Those talks died at the draft. That was the only time where you could even like considering it because you could get an elite, top whatever first round pick, another quality player, and maybe you reset a little bit, reshape for the future. Now that that's over, you just don't trade Jaylen Brown. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, you would need, like, if you were going to trade Jaylen, it wouldn't make sense considering, like, they needed the whole roster to win the title. But that's the type of roster you would need to have to do so you have other players to fall back on. You've already gutted the rest of the roster. Like, Jack's right. At the draft, maybe it makes a little bit of sense if you're trying to cut salary, trying to get below the second apron. You trade the guy that's making the Supermax. Sure, right? That can happen. Now that you don't have anybody, you just trade him. Trade him so when Tatum comes back, it's just him and Derek. That would work out great.
It's just dumb. I don't get why this has been dominated. I think it's just people are bored, don't have much to write about in September, and so like, who's the biggest name on the Celtics that they could trade? Jaylen Brown, and then
we know.
So.
We know how hard it is this month.
It's tough, but whatever, man. Regardless, before we continue, I need to tell you guys about PrizePicks. Outside of their trade ideas, it's the best place to win real money sports action. Make sure to check it out. This football season, which just got underway last night, you can pick the more or less on at least 2 player stats for your chance to win up to 2,000x your cash. Make sure to check it out. Whether that's football, if you're a Pats fan, which I assume most people listening here are, take the more on Drake May touchdowns. Take the more on Travion Henderson rushing yards. I'd love that. October baseball right around the corner. You can take the more on home runs or wins for the Red Sox or strikeouts for Crochet, anything like that. And if you're in a hating mood, you can take the less on runs for the Yankees. That's what I'll be doing. Sam and I do the PrizePicks every single pregame show during Celtics season, picking the more or the less on player props for Celtics or opponents. PrizePicks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, more for quick and easy deposits into your account. But also puts its members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. And when your picks hit, you can get your money in as quick as 15 minutes. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game. Okay, Jordan Walsh recently spoke with Chris Forsberg on the Celtics Talk podcast at NBC Sports Boston, speaking about the upcoming season, and said, it's already weird. The energy is already different. You can feel it. Everyone is just trying to find their footing. It's a bunch of guys who aren't necessarily proven. It's a lot of potential and unproven talent on the team. You can feel it in every workout. Everybody is going at each other's necks. Everybody's trying to earn that spot, earn that play time, earn that position. It's like a dogfight right now, which, in my opinion, is awesome. Very excited to see how that plays out throughout training camp.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is the not perfect, but it's a very good roster to have given the circumstances. There are a lot of guys on your team that have potential, that have good size, good basketball IQ, and so on, that are primed to have opportunity that they would not have had last year or the year before. Walsh is one of them. Walsh is somebody who might be towards the end of his Celtics career. Like, if this season doesn't go well, there really isn't any argument for them keeping him around. I think he's only 21 years old now. He's still had 2 seasons under his belt. He's only appeared in 61 games. He hasn't gotten a lot of chance to prove himself. This is it. He's going to have that. He got a little bit of a chance last year, and it really didn't work out. And Shireman ended up being the guy that everyone was like, whoa, look at this. Like, he's fitting really great towards the end of the season. Walsh had a great summer league. Hopefully he can build off of that. But yeah, like, it's great that all of these guys are at the Auerbach Center, battling it out, putting in work to try and get ready for what could be a big season for all of them.
Yeah, and I mean, Walsh talked about him personally, individually as well. Said, I think for me personally, I feel like I've been doing a lot of sitting. Last year, I earned a little bit of playing time at the beginning of the year. Guys came back and went to the wayside, so I tried to focus back on getting better and looking forward to the next opportunity, next chance. I think this year is going to be that chance, and I'm looking to maximize every opportunity that I get on the floor. Every workout I do, every shot I take, everything I do is always about what I'll do in that moment. I think with JT out, it'll create a big space for people to come in and fill those minutes. Obviously, I'm going to do my best to fill those minutes until he comes back. The focus is still, if I get those minutes, how am I going to produce in those minutes and not hurt the team, but push them in a positive way, so I earn more and more even when he does come back. Listen, I think in theory, right, Jordan Walsh is the type of player the Celtics would like to develop as a piece on their next title team, right? Fully in theory, because obviously it hasn't worked out very well up to this point, but should be a pretty good defender. with his athleticism should be able to knock down threes. That's solid, right? I think Baylor Shireman is the same. Secondary creator, can shoot the ball pretty well, can score on his own if he needs to. All he needs to do is be able to hold up on defense. I think that's where the Celtics are going. You look at Amish Kata. In theory, he should be that too. Pick and roll player, shot blocking, rebounding. You can plug in and play, and that should be fine, right? And I think they drafted for that too. Lou Gonzalez, Max Shulgin, Marty Williams. You see the outlines of role players that could fit in on the next Jason Tatum team. You're going to need to spend a lot of time developing those skills this year, whether it's letting Jordan Walsh play through the nights where he's overcommitting for 3 different, steals and getting beat, or the nights where Baylor Shireman shoots 0 of 8 and gets blown by on defense 3 times, or the night where Nemish Kata fouls out in the second quarter. You're just gonna need to deal with those and keep the play time coming, because it's gonna happen, right? And that's okay.
Hilarious day.
It's objectively just gonna happen, but you're gonna have to push through because you don't have another option this season. And to be honest, it might be pretty frustrating for Jaylen Brown and Derek White and Peyton Pritchard, who are used to winning at a high level and contributing at a high level to a championship caliber team. Are gonna have to deal with some of those growing pains, but I think going through them now will be important for next year. So if nothing else, if Jordan Walsh plays like shit, he's gone. If Baylor Shireman doesn't work out, you trade him. If Hugo Gonzalez doesn't work out, you send him in the G League another year. If Amish Kata doesn't work out, maybe you let him go. Like, this is a year of who is going to stay moving forward and who might be out the door for proven pieces when Tatum comes back. And I think what Jordan Walsh said of energy's different, a lot of unproven guys trying to prove themselves, is going to be a very fun battle and fight to watch.
Yeah, I mean, there are just so many different guys with a lot at stake here, and that should motivate them. Like, they, as Walsh said, like, they've been there battling it out. And I think, in particular, I just think Walsh is such an interesting character in this because he is young, and he's younger than the rest. Like, Shireman is a second-year player, but he's going to be 25. Like, he's not young by any means. He's only 2 years, 3 years younger than Jaylen and Jason. Walsh is still 21. He's younger than Amari Williams, who they drafted this year. That's not nothing. I think sure, like, can you feel like a little bit less encouraged with him because he's been here for 2 years? Yeah, you can, absolutely. But he's had 2 years to be around the NBA. He's had 2 years to be around the Celtics development team, who puts in a ton of great work. We've seen them have success with guys like Luke Cornett, Sam Hauser. If Walsh is able to translate the work he's put in to playing well when his name is called this year, he could absolutely be a good piece on a good Celtics team, as you said. Like, he's got the tools. What's his wingspan? 7'2", 7'3"? It's crazy.
Something crazy, yeah.
If he can just start to knock down shots and be a little bit more disciplined on defense, he really has an opportunity to be a good rotational piece on a Celtics team that wins a title. Like, I don't think that's a crazy thing to say. Does it mean he's going to be a starter? No. But if he's able to come off the bench, give you really, like, chaotic energy for 10, 15 minutes a game and maybe make a 3 or 2, that'd be great. I think we would all be like, great job, Jordan Walsh. You've did it. You've done it. Yeah.
We'll see, man. Emails. A reminder, as always, you guys can email us at hbtcpod@gmail.com. That's hbtcpod@gmail.com. We have, I think, 3 today, so we can check them out and see what's up. Isaac says, hey, Sam and Jack, hope you're having the best day of your life. What is your score prediction for the Patriots-Raiders game? Sam probably doesn't care, so I can take the Raiders here. I think the Pats win. I don't think the Raiders are very good. I'll go Mike Vrabel era. I'll give you 30-14.
I love
30-14. I think they'll wipe them off the field. You love what?
I love score predictions in football because they always do them. Like, it's not as common with basketball because it's such a crapshoot. But I was watching College Game Day or the Big Noon Kickoff last week for college football, and they were going down the line giving the score predictions for Ohio State, Texas. And it's just like, how do you know? Like, there was one that I was like, I don't even know how you got there. I think it was like 23-24. It's like, how did they even get to 23? Why did you pick that number? Like, football is such a math game. It was like you would have to score 2 touchdowns and kick 3 field goals. Or you would have to score 3 touchdowns in a field goal and then go for 2 on the last possession of the game and not get it. Like that
Yeah,
kind of
there's
thing.
ways to get there. Like with 30, I just did 3 touchdowns, 3 field goals, and the Raiders get 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's
I'm
fair.
just
I
I'm
just
just
think
picking randomly.
yeah, exactly. That's what it is. That's the point. Like score predictions have always been
Score
silly to me,
predictions in
but
any sport are pretty random.
I agree. Like I think it's
It's
silly.
just what it is.
But I do hope you enjoy the Patriots game, Isaac.
There you go, Isaac.
I will not be
30 to
watching.
14.
I
Shocker.
will have
30 to
watched all my
14.
football on Saturday.
Rob says, my version of the Forsberg mock trade. Hello, folks. As a proponent of the C's doing business with Chicago for any Simons trade, I was excited when I saw Forsberg's mock. Sadly, it didn't contain Vooch or White, my primary targets in any Simons trade, but contained I had Sumu and Jalen Smith, who I also like. The return also had Dalen Terry, who I think is overpaid, but I bet he was just included to make the salaries work. I generally like the mock, however, it didn't solve any of the two C's main goals. One, getting under the tax line. Two, staying at the 14-player count. We would have to waive a player to accommodate the trade. So I'm sending you my tweak that accomplishes both the goals while getting a couple extra assets for the C's. Boston gets Ayat Sunmu, Jalen Smith, Dalen Terry, and 3 seconds. Chicago receives Anthony Simon, Xavier Tillman, Jordan Walsh. Equal player swap, so it keeps the C's at the 14, gaining a couple seconds and getting 1.2 below the tax line. Everything is legal after September 7th. Fanspo is screenshot attached. Why Chicago does this? They get another young wing to try out, and Jordan Walsh should have been will cost a couple of seconds and take a flyer on Xavier Tillman as their big replacement for Jalen Smith. I wouldn't mind reducing the seconds Chicago sends out to help sweeten the deal. What do you guys think? In my opinion, every mock trade creator should always favor the C's getting below the tax line in the Simons mock trade. Thanks, Rob version 1. I mean, I would do this trade yesterday from a Celtics perspective. I like it a lot. I just don't think Chicago would be interested. Like, I think obviously Anthony Simons is better than Ayat Sunmu, but if you get Anthony Simons, you're getting very repetitive with him and Kobe White on the roster versus Ayat Sunmu, who can probably play up to the 3 a little bit. Like, realistically, this year, Chicago can probably roll out a 3-guard lineup with Sunmu at the 3 because he's big enough and plays good enough defense. You can't really do that with Simons and Kobe White and Josh Giddey. I don't think anybody's paying for Jordan Walsh at this point. I think he's a fine young wing to take a chance on, but I don't think people are giving up seconds, let alone a couple of them. And then taking a chance on Xavier Tillman. I don't think there is taking a chance on Xavier Tillman. The only reason that I think Chicago would maybe do this is if you would like to get off the money of Jalen Smith, who is $9 million this year, $9 million next year. Like, if you really just want a clean wipe the slate, you could maybe make the case for that and just be like, hey, like, we'll get these 3 guys in, maybe send out. I think you just clear the seconds, honestly. I don't think the Chicago would give up any seconds, and I still think the Celtics should consider it. I think you wipe the slate. Celtics get a young big man to take on in Jalen Smith. I like Ayat Sunmu a lot. I think he's a guy you could seriously consider re-signing. I think he's really good and would fit a lot better on this current Celtics team than Anthony Simons, even though obviously I think Simons is a better player. I just think he fits better with Pritchard and White already on the team. I don't really care about Dalen Terry. Maybe then the Bulls are like, okay, we'll just completely clear all our salary next season. We'll trade Kobe White and we'll still have a scoring guard paired next to Josh Giddey. I don't think Chicago would be interested. I think they'd rather just trade Ayat Sunmu for a first or a couple seconds at the deadline because I think he could probably get you that. But if I'm the Celtics, I'll do it straight up without the seconds, to be honest with you.
Yeah, the only way I see Chicago throwing in all those seconds if they're like infatuated with Jordan Walsh. They're like, he hasn't gotten a shot yet. Need to buy low on him. Like they would have to love Jordan Walsh because I don't think Simons is the type of guy that's like take all the picks. Otherwise, the Celtics would have already traded him.
Dassoon is really good, man. Like Dassoon
is
good. He didn't shoot the ball very well last year, but 12 points, 3.5 rebounds, 4.5 assists on 49-33 splits. He shot 40% from 3 the year before that on 4 attempts a game. So, like, there's a world where you can get him back to that point. You can get a lot more than this for Ayat Sunmu, in my opinion. I think the Celtics would have to attach a second to get Ayat Sunmu in this trade. Like, I don't think Anthony Simons has value, unfortunately. Like, based on everything we've seen, and listen, Anthony Simons is better than Ayat Sunmu right now because he's just that good of a scorer. I would argue Sunmu is more valuable because of 1, his contract, 2, his defensive abilities.
Also, like if Simons had value, he probably wouldn't be here.
Exactly.
He either would not have been the return in the holiday trade, or they would have already rerouted him. Because all we've heard from insiders this summer is that they have been trying very hard to try and get Anthony Simons traded, to get off the money, to get underneath the luxury tax. And listen, like they
Also,
may still do that once the season starts, but
yeah.
I don't think anybody's knocking at the door.
Whenever I say that, I see people in the comments yelling at me, well, he was traded for Drew Holiday, so clearly he has some value. Guys, in no world without the CBA would the Celtics have ever even like sniffed the idea of trading Drew Holiday for Anthony Simons. Like that was a pure salary dump move. And the reason it works is because, well, first and foremost, they got off Drew Holiday's contract for like multiple years past this, which is massive for the CBA and avoiding that in future seasons. Simon's contract is expiring. That's a big part of it. And he's a good player. So, like, don't get me wrong, he is a good player. It's just that type of player doesn't have a lot of trade value. Look at Colin Sexton. Look at Jordan Clarkson signing a minimum contract after averaging 15 points a game. Like, it's just a very, like, a lot of teams don't want to spend trade assets to get that type of player.
It's true. I mean, just look at the Sexton trade. That is just the blatant epitome of this archetype of player has no value. They had to give up a second-round pick with Sexton for Yusuf Nurkic.
Yes, they did. Colin Sexton last year averaged 18, 3, and 4 on 48-41 splits.
I liked Sexton as a guy that they should have went and got this summer. The Celtics. Like
Colin
I thought
Sexton's
I was
a good
like,
basketball player.
whoa, he could be a great like Drew Holiday light on the Celtics. He tries on defense. He's not great at it, but like he's not one of those guys that doesn't give you any effort.
Colin Sexton, I think, is better than Anthony Simons.
Call Danny. Someone call him.
Whatever. It's fine. Last email, RJ. How would this do as an NBA team? Afternoon, folks. With the round of 16 set for this weekend, let's look at Celtics grades at Eurobasket knockout round. Shane Larkin on Turkey, Daniel Tice on Germany, Dennis Schroeder on Germany, Keita on Portugal, Porzingis on Latvia, Gershon Yabusele on France, Gallinari on Italy, Yamadar on Israel. Only 8 players, but they would make a fairly solid squad. How do you think they'd do in league play, playoff team play, and team lottery darlings? This team would not sniff the play-in, in my opinion. Be
Can
well,
the Celtics
RJ.
roll this roster out this year? Can they use it to tank?
Come on, man. You know, this team would be. What would the starting lineup be? Shane Larkin, Dennis Schroeder.
They just have
Ripple
like a lot of
Biggs?
big guys. Yeah, so
This
it would have
is
to
disgusting.
be. It would be Schroeder, Larkin, and then Gershon, probably Porzingis and Keita. Or you do Danilo and Porzingis and put Keita on the bench. But
This is gross.
Danilo's old. Maybe in his prime. Like if you primed all these guys, it might be a little better.
If you primed all these guys, maybe they could inch towards the play-in. But this is a pretty gross lineup. It's pretty nasty. Anyways, NBA section. We mentioned it on the last pod when it happened, but we'll talk about it a little bit more today. The Kawhi situation is crazy. Kawhi, Pablo Torre, obviously of the Athletic now, shout out, came out and said Kawhi signed this no-show endorsement deal where he just signed this endorsement deal with Aspiration, which is a tree something company, and Steve Ballmer, Street Planting, Steve Ballmer,
which is very profitable.
Steve Ballmer invested $50 million into the company, and Kawhi got $28 million. And then John Corrales came out and said there was an extra $20 million given to Kawhi on top of the $28 million that had been reported, which would put it suspiciously close to the number that Steve Ballmer invested in the company. Ballmer went on ESPN with Ramona Shelburne, said we didn't do anything, and then say he got conned by Aspiration. He said, I don't know what they did, and I don't know how different it is. Any speculation would be crazy. These guys who were these were guys who committed fraud. How would I be able to look? They conned me. At this stage, I have no ability to predict why they might have done anything they did, let alone specific contract with Kawhi. This is a man who knows he's about to be cooked. They are fucked. And I don't know how the league is going to punish them if and when this turns out to be true, because you know the phrase, Sam, where there's smoke, there's fire? There is a 4-alarm blaze going on in LA right now. It is bad for the Clippers.
Not good. I hate this because Ballmer's my favorite owner that isn't with the Celtics. Like, He's the man. And I think, honestly, this makes him even more of the man. Not to say, like, they shouldn't be punished for this, because they shouldn't. Celtics fans should be rooting for them to get punished. Sorry, I got a text message. They should be getting punished to the heavens if you're a Celtics fan, because you just watched your team get shredded by the CBA. Ballmer has been all in on the Clippers since he bought them. He is super fan. He's going berserk courtside at the games. Anytime he does a press conference, he's electric. Him going on SportsCenter was hysterical because he was up there lost. He was trying he just went up there and played dumb. That's all he did. He was like, I had no idea. Jack read the quote. They conned me. I had no idea. And he was like, you guys should actually just talk to Kawhi, like with his people. Like he kind of threw Kawhi under the bus too.
Yeah, he's just throwing him to the flames.
Which, I mean, I guess technically, like if Kawhi is involved in this, he didn't really do anything wrong as a player. You're allowed to get endorsements. Like the only league concern would, like, whoever's getting punished for this is the Clippers, right? Like Kawhi would not get punished.
Oh, Kawhi would absolutely get punished.
Why is Kawhi at fault? If Ballmer's telling the truth and he had no idea about this, why would Kawhi get in trouble? He's not. He's probably not telling the truth. But if he's like talk to Kawhi, like he's technically not throwing him under the bus. Is my point.
If Kawhi and his agent signed a $48 million endorsement deal with a tree planting company, they knew what was going on.
By the way, Kawhi has not done anything for the company.
I'm sorry. Like, let's be 100% real. If this happened in the way it is speculated to have happened, where it is, you signed this endorsement with this company, I'll invest the money so they can pay you, and we'll just give you some extra money for staying in LA, blah, blah, blah. Both sides knew what was happening. There is no way Kawhi and his agent were just like, oh, wow, this is a really random, really good opportunity. Get the fuck out of here. Everyone knew what was happening. Like,
Sam, do you want $48 million for free? I'd be like, it is a great opportunity.
If this happened, it happened because everyone knew it was going on. There is no doubt. There's no, like, it just did. And listen, what would be the benefit for Aspiration conning Steve Ballmer? Taking his money and then just giving it to Kawhi to do nothing?
They wanted to plant fucking trees, dude. That's what they wanted to do. That's what they do. And they make a ton of money. Money literally does grow on trees with this.
Just silliness. Just ridiculous, dude. They're screwed. And the worst part about this is, how do you punish the Clippers if and when this turns out to be true? Like, what is the punishment? You void Kawhi's contract? Like, you remember Joe Smith, the Timberwolves guy?
Yeah, pull up what they did for that. That's where I was.
I have it off the top of my head. So what they did basically was the Timberwolves, in order to get Joe Smith's bird rights and like go past the salary cap to sign him, they said, you're going to sign 3 straight minimum contract deals with us for 3 straight seasons, and then we will sign you a big $86 million contract with your bird rights at the end of it. They voided all the contracts, the NBA, and they stripped the Timberwolves of 5 first-round picks 5 years in a row. Eventually, they returned 2 of them, but they stripped them of eventually what would be 3 first-round picks. The Clippers do not control their own first-round pick till 2030. Do you just void the Kawhi Leonard contract? And then what happens? The money's...
Then they can't re-sign it, right?
I know, and I saw somebody speculate about this. They're like, then what happens? Is it Kawhi enters free agency and signs for the mid-level somewhere? He signs a deal with, like, the Warriors or the Thunder for a little bit of money? Like... You would enter a crazy place. It's just
that actually would be a good punishment, is if he had to go play for the Nets.
Well, I just don't know what the punishment or what it's like, how it's going to work. It's crazy.
It's probably going to be a little while before whatever. Even though this seems like very open shut case with this, it's probably going to be a little while before we get a verdict on this. Man, just. It is, like, crazy. I saw Torre went on, I don't remember what show. It was one of the billion clips I saw of him when I was looking for information on this today. And he was just like, yeah, like, I don't think anybody would have noticed this if it wasn't Kawhi Leonard 2 LLC. Like, initials, jersey number, LLC. Who could this be? Who is the culprit here? Who's getting all this money? And it's just Kawhi doing the laugh, collecting his checks. Ballmer remains the man. Like, he's willing to cheat for the team. Respect. Now punish them. I watched my entire roster get shredded.
But how?
It's
What's
gonna
the
just
punishment?
have to. It's even more of a punishment. You already don't have your picks, so once you finally start to get them, you're not gonna have them. That's what will probably happen. Like, they're gonna just get
void the
punished far
contract
into
too?
the future.
You kind of have to.
Maybe, yeah. You probably do.
Wow. What a crazy. This is why we play. I love the drama, man. This is why we do it.
This has given me such great content for the site, because Pablo Torre went on the Dan Patrick show the day this came out and was like, yeah, now everyone's on my phone telling me to check out the Jalen Brunson situation, where Jalen Brunson took a $113 million pay cut with his agent, who is the son of the general manager of the team that he took the pay cut for. Do we think that there's a chance that, listen, now me of all people should not be the one like shaming this, because if there is nothing that happened, then Jalen Brunson is one of the most honorable players off the court, not on the court, doing the foul baiting, taking a pay cut to help the betterment of the team. There's nobody more than me that comes on the microphone and is like, players should do this. They should never be complaining about no help if they're making the max. They just shouldn't. And if he did that fair and square, more power to him. But there is plenty around this that would make you scratch your head and be like, wonder if there's a JB11 LLC collecting a significant paycheck from some nonprofit that either James Dolan or the Rose family is putting money into.
We'll see, man. Things can get messy.
It would be a real shame if the Knicks got in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Next NBA thing, we forgot to put this on the sheet. Cam Thomas signed his qualifying offer with the Nets. He's going to make $6 million next season, but most importantly, he's going to be free agent next summer, unrestricted free agent. This does come with a no trade clause. When you sign the qualifying offer, you get a no trade clause for the season, so he cannot be traded. He can be traded, but he would have to approve of the trade.
Yep.
There were a few options that I think could make some sense. I think the Bucks would be a perfect landing spot for Cam Thomas and the Bucks. You get a guard who can score in bunches, take a lot of the pressure off Giannis. Not only that, but ironically, think of the pressure Giannis would take off Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas is putting up good numbers on a Nets team with no other guys to take the pressure off. I remember when Zach Lowe was shitting on Cam Thomas, and Cam Thomas defended himself. A bunch of stats went around Twitter, and it's like he's one of the most double team players in the NBA, and he's still scoring like this. So imagine what he would do if he had Giannis. The other intriguing one that I thought of, I think the Timberwolves would actually be a really good landing spot for Cam Thomas.
They're due.
You think about the way younger. I know he's not a perfect point guard, but you think about the way that the Mavs built around Luka, like give him another ball handler so you have two guys on the perimeter. Like I think you could create something similar, and if not, the very least you have an extra scorer in the postseason for where things get really pressure, a lot of pressure on Ant, because you don't really have another creator on that roster outside of Ant that you can trust. You would get another guy who can give you 20 a night. You get another guy who can shoot the ball pretty well. Like it would be a little bit of a clash in play styles, but I think it could work pretty all right. I think Cam Thomas, I don't think he's a $30 million player, obviously. I do think he's a good NBA player, and I do think he probably should be in the $20-ish million range. So,
yeah, this is funny. Like, I'm not an advanced stat guy, so I have no idea of the double team percentage of who, by the way, you have said would be a great fit on the Bucks. Anthony Simons, who is a very similar player. Like, we're talking about him not having value, which trade value, sure. As a free agent, he'll probably get signed somewhere. But we have just spent all summer being like, there's no way any team will want this guy. And you've said the Bucks would be a great fit. There's no doubt about it.
Bucks would be a great fit.
It makes sense.
I think Timberwolves would be a great fit. I think Simons would be a better fit in the Timberwolves than Cam Thomas, because I think he's a better three-point shooter. The difference is 27 versus $6 million. Like, that's where the difference comes in for a trade.
And that does make you a significantly better player. because you're on a value contract. With that being said, like, as much as these guys don't want to take the qualifying offer, and I understand why they do not want to take the qualifying offer, it is perhaps the best contract for him to be on if he's interested in joining a contending team, because he cannot be traded unless he wants to be. And as we just laid out, Cam Thomas on a $6 million contract, not bad. Cam Thomas on whatever, I think he said he wanted like $40 million when he was asked about this earlier in the summer. Definitely not a good contract. But $6 million qualifying offer, there will be a team that will give you maybe seconds or a future first at the deadline to be like, this is our guy. This is somebody that can make us go to the next level as a bench scorer or even a starter.
Yeah. I don't hate the idea of somebody trading for Cam Thomas. I do think there is value in having that type of player. Maybe it's Milwaukee. I think Anthony Simons would be a great fit in Milwaukee too. It's just he makes a lot more money than Cam Thomas. I think he's a little bit overpaid. I think Cam Thomas is now underpaid at $6 million. It's also dangerous to take the qualifying offer if you're Cam Thomas, because you could turn into a Caleb Martin situation where you play really well and you're on the small contract, and then you kind of get into the injury bug, and so you can't get paid as much as you would have otherwise. Like Cam Thomas has turned out. I know, but I'm saying, like, I get why it is inviting to be on this contract so you can join a good roster and then prove your worth and then get paid. But one injury, you're at millions of dollars. For context, Owen Phillips of the F5 is who put out the stat.
Who got hired by the Nuggets.
Shout out Owen Phillips. Indeed, he did get hired. Cam Thomas was the fourth most doubled player in 24-25 by double team rate. 18.2% of his almost 1,500 touches he was doubled, which is a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. So shout out to Cam Thomas, but he did accept the qualifying. Last NBA thing before the rad list here is the NBA has announced they are going to be trying a new All-Star game format. USA versus international. There's going to be 2 USA teams, 1 international team.
When did they announce this?
Great. The day of the Kawhi Leonard drama. You know, when they announced Cam Thomas?
Yep.
Day of the Kawhi Leonard drama.
Please don't
look at this. Sham said this is likely going to be a round robin style tournament featuring 3 8-player squads. 2 of those teams would be made up of players from the US, while the other would be a world team. Under the new format, the USA squads and 1 world team would face one another in 12 minute per quarter Ryder Cup style games. The Ryder Cup, a golf event pitting players from the US against Europe, takes place over the course of 3 days. It's unclear if the new All-Star format would be more or fewer than 3 days. I like this in theory, but you kind of already got this last year and no one cared. So I don't really know what this is going to accomplish.
Yeah, there's no like regional pride here. You know,
No.
like maybe if you did this and you really, really stuck to it, right? Or you hope something like terrible happens in world politics where people hate each other all of a sudden.
Well, the problem is like
with hockey last year.
This worked in hockey really well, I was going to say. And even outside of the geopolitical side of things, like people like USA just wants to beat Canada. Russia wants to beat US. The US wants to beat Sweden or whoever they have.
Russia wasn't in it.
Well, whoever it was.
Which was because of the politics, I believe.
Yeah, sure. Whatever, though. Like, there's a lot more country-to-country pride in hockey, and I think a big part of that is, like, it's a pretty close to 50-50 split between – or pretty like 25-25-20. Like, there's a very even split of where the players are from. In golf, it's a very even split of where the best players are from. So you get this national pride of, like, holy – and, like, they also don't team up that often. So getting to play on a team for something is very cool for golf because they don't do that. The U.S., for as much as it is an international game, there's a lot of U.S. players, and all the international teams, they don't have European pride or South American pride. They have pride for their country. Like, Giannis doesn't give a fuck about helping other Europe. He wants Greece to win. Luka wants Slovenia to win. Like, it just doesn't really work that way.
What if they get to wear the flag like on like their like shoulder?
Maybe they will, and I don't think they're gonna care.
I think if they do this with 3 teams, They need to have East Coast, West Coast, or North South, but I definitely think it would be East Coast, West
East
Coast.
Coast, West Coast.
That would make the most sense.
And I
And
still
then you
don't
would
think
have
anybody will care.
Devin Booker from Michigan, who's just like, I don't really know what to do here. Like there are Tyrese Halliburton from Wisconsin. Maybe you do it should you do it by college conferences? Could you do it that way? I think there's some pride that way.
Colleges wouldn't be terrible. You need to find something that they care about.
Then you just find everyone that went to Duke, so it's just the ACC, and you'd have a bunch of guys that went to Kentucky. It would not really work.
It just, I don't know how it would work. I hope something works eventually where we get entertaining stuff. I think they should just do a 1v1 tournament and invite whoever would be willing to play in it. It doesn't even have to be the All-Stars. I don't care about the All-Stars. They don't care anyways. Invite people who are willing to play in a 1v1 tournament and let me watch. That's it. Okay, Ratless Sam, what do you got?
Rat list is I hate the park on 2K. I forgot. So I usually don't play park on 2K. I play like Rec Center. Like I usually play 5 on 5. I forgot how much I hated the park mode. So this year they have you can join a crew, which I think I talked about last time on the show, where you essentially can level up as a group with your friends. And there are weekly challenges that you have to do. And this week the challenge is 200 threes made in the park. So we had to go in the park and play last night. We lost to the same guys like 10 times. We had 2 squads of 3 trying to win the game and then play each other so we could just rack up the threes. Never really got the chance. Never got the chance to do it. Just played guys that were setting screens. The defense is broken this year. You can't really like defend certain things. You move like you're in quicksand. I don't know. Regular people don't care about this. But it was a frustrating couple hours.
Yeah, Ratless me, I bought 2K.
Oh,
just
no.
the worst. Just fuck. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
You hit the purchase button and you have instant clarity. You're just like, oh no, why did I do that?
Also, anti-Ratless, Joey Spatula's DM me the other day.
Pull it up.
And I just want to show you this video he sent me. I need to load
he
first.
sent it to me too. I got it.
Oh, you got it? Okay, perfect.
Pull it up.
We won't watch the whole thing, but I'll show you a couple clips from this. Joey Spatula's was at a festival or a concert, and he was setting up his food truck. Well, it was like a concert, I think, and they were setting up for it or something. And he.
You ready? Are you ready to get your shit dunked on? Hammer it! Boom shakalaka! Are you ready to get your shit dunked on? Heating up!
It's just Joey Spatula's dunking on people, and I
really would have loved it if there was a Joey Spatula's like contact dunk where they both went to ground. Like it was just that much of a meeting of the masses. Shout out
Joey Spatula's. I thought that was
Joey Spatula's longtime listener, the absolute man,
the GOAT. Anti-rat list. So I'm going to get lunch today with Danny and my other mate Brian, and there is this deal at this place in Southie called the Lunchbox.
All right.
Right. It is $10 for a sandwich, chips, and a drink. And the options they have look absolutely phenomenal, and I am so fucking excited to get this lunch. I don't know. So they've got the fried chicken Caesars wrap lunchbox, the grilled chicken Caesar salad wrap lunchbox. They've got the chicken Italiano, which is chicken cutlet, prosciutto, mozzarella, red peppers, North Shore roast beef. They've got hot dog, which if you just can't, come on, give me a fucking break. Like, we're just not doing that. They got the chicken bacon ranch wrap, a fish sandwich, like a fried fish sandwich, caprese sandwich, a cheeseburger club, a smash burger lunchbox, a Euro lunchbox, a hot chicken sandwich, burrito, chopped cheese, chicken Italian lunchbox, California wrap, short rib sandwich, chicken parm, BLT. Like, they've just got so many fucking options. It's gonna be $10, and I'm thrilled. I'd pay $10 for the sandwich alone, let alone getting chips and a drink with it. It's a good deal. I'm very excited.
I don't blame you. I'd be pumped too. Today,
yes,
my girlfriend's having friends come over and stay, so I'm getting displaced. This whole area is the guest bedroom as well, so I'm gonna have to move.
Unfortunate.
It'll be fine, but I don't like being displaced.
It's tough. I have nothing else. That's all I got today.
Rallis is Jack. Jack has sniped articles from me multiple times this week, and it has been heartbreaking. This is a difficult time of year to do what we do. And when you're looking for content and you think you find something and you're pumped, and then all of a sudden you don't have that thing anymore, it is a sad feeling. But
I'm sorry, man.
Hey, it is what it is. We move on.
Might be. All right. Appreciate it for y'all tuning in. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Leave a like, subscribe. I won't say take it out.
Hey, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. We are here every day. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps morning after each game. Other videos are here in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You can find the two of us on Spotify and Apple as well. All pods and recaps are there as well. You can find us via email, hbtcpod@gmail.com. Big shout out to Rob, Isaac, and RJ who sent in emails today. We love getting the emails. hbtcpod@gmail.com. Our socials are at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook's the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's Jack's1NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it.